here from Belladonna's Botanicals, and I am doing my first ever October 2023 Witchy haul. So I see a lot of creators make videos as such with the things that they purchase, buy, acquire, etc. So I figured I've picked up a lot of really cool stuff in the past month, so why not share and have a little learning experience. This is also going to be a little promo too because I got a lot of crystals this month, so mostly this will be crystals, some books and other stuff. But first, let's go on to the crystals, and this is going to be sort of a teaser because I'm working on a series of doing like profiles of different crystals and how I use crystals in magic, and that it's not just all woo-woo, love and light BS. So anyways, let's get started. So, and I will try to give you where I got these. Some of them are more of like an in-person type place that they don't, like one of the places, the first one I'm going to talk about, I don't think the store has a website, and they're located, I think it's called Gemstone Gallery. It's in Frenchtown, New Jersey. It's a very like high-end, upscale, kind of bougie crystal gem, like they have basic stuff like tumbles and stuff and carvings and stuff. And they also have a lot of really high-end stuff. Like I had to stop myself from buying like a $3,000 Labradorite table. So, but they have a lot of collector's pieces, a lot of statement pieces, things like that, and a lot of rare stuff that you're not going to find elsewhere. So one of the things I bought in my recent journeys is a Vogel cut crystal, quartz crystal. This is clear quartz. It's got a lot of cool, I like this piece out of all of them. It's got a lot of cool inclusions. So what does a Vogel cut mean? Because it's a very specific cut of the crystal. Like you can kind of see how it's faceted on the whole way around. And it's usually double terminated. So this is a little sort of rounded at the end, but sometimes they have the points at both ends. But Vogel crystals are really fascinating to me. They are cut to a very precision, very precise specifications. And the name Vogel, why it's called Vogel cut, is that it's something that those specifications came from Marcel Vogel, who was a long-time research scientist at IBM. And he worked a lot in, I think, the field of luminescence. I'm not entirely sure what that entails, but towards the later years of his life, he passed away in 1991, I believe. He started exploring the power of quartz crystals. So with the Vogel cut, and there are only 3 people or 3 sources that do the precision cut to his specifications. There's a lot of fakes out there, or things that are like Vogel style or Vogel cut, but they aren't cut with the precision that they're hand cut. And as I mentioned earlier, they're usually double terminated, and they're cut and polished. Most of them should be in this kind of shape. Some might be longer, some might be shorter. There are some variations, but there's a lot of very technical specifications. I had to write them down, or print them out rather. So they're cut completely aligned with the C-axis of the quartz crystal. The receptive female I'll get into that in other videos, but there are facets of crystals that are either it's a male crystal or a female crystal. But with this, it must be faceted, forming an internal angle of 51 degrees, 51 minutes, and 51 seconds. And notably, this is the same angle as the angle of the sides of the pyramids at Giza, or the Great Pyramid at Giza, anyways. A Vogel crystal must have 4 or more side facets. Typically, you'll see usually they're even numbers, but there's some 7s, 11s, 13s, going all the way up to, some can be cut all the way up to 144 sides. So, but typically this one, I believe, is a 16-sided one. So that's how that's cut. And the transmitter, sometimes referred to as the male part of the crystal, must be faceted with a more acute internal angle than the female receptive side. So basically what these crystals are what they're due, because typically they're quartz, is they're cut to amplify and focus your intentions, your thoughts, and energy that you wish to direct either into your body, or if you're doing healing work using them, because you could use them like the same way you would use like a healing wand. And these are designed for the crystal to access what a lot of people either call source energy, universal life force energy. If you work within Reiki, it's Reiki energy, or in Qigong, it's Qi energy, and various other names for that kind of universal life force energy. I like that because it's non-denominational, non-specific. So it allows for it to enter the crystal at the receptive end and to be amplified and focused, traveling in a spiral circle pattern throughout the crystal and transmitted like a laser beam from the focal end. So I did some of the research I pulled a little bit from the Crystal Vault's website, and they said this is where I got the information. There are 3 sources of crystals that offer Vogel cut ones. How they're cut is very expensive and takes literally 3 people can do it. But there's specific ones that are done. Like there's Luminary Studios does ones that have 6, 8, 12, 13, 16, and 24 sides. There's another one from vogelcrystals.net, and they do crystals with 4, 6, 7, 8, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 18, and 24 facets. And Crystal Wings does 8, 12, 13, 16, 88, 108, and 144 sides. So I can't even imagine what the 144 side one must look like, and also how expensive it could be. Because this was, I forget how much this cost. It was under $200, but not by a lot. So that was one that I bought recently. The one I was most excited by to purchase, and I got this also at the same place, Gemstone Gallery, and because I heard about this recently, and I'm like, yes, I need that. Also, very expensive crystal. I have seen some on, I think Sage Goddess website has some.
We're back.
They're a little cheap. I acquired my little pen light. Hopefully, it won't blind you. It goes down with this. So I just wanted to kind of shine a little bit of a light on it to show you. It's got this brilliant green kind of translucency to it. So that's why I wanted to grab my pen light. But what is really cool about Vivianite is that it's a great crystal for necromancers. I didn't realize such a thing would exist, but here we are. It's also a very delicate crystal, so I kind of have been keeping it in a little box for now until I get my altar stuff set up. But, so, necromancers and crystals, who would have thought? Doesn't sound too love and light to me, do you? Now does it? But what's really interesting about that, and it's also good for heart chakra and heart healing as well, is that Vivianite is a phosphate mineral that has been found growing on organic materials such as fossils, shells, animal waste deposits, and even on decomposing bodies, whether animal or human, or around. So Vivianite develops in iron-rich sedimentary deposits containing bones, decaying wood, other organic remains, especially in clay and sandstone. So, hold up. How does Vivianite form on dead bodies? I have an answer for that. This is what's fascinating. So it's the interaction between iron, water, and phosphate. Our bodies contain a vast resource of phosphates, especially in our teeth and bones. So this is released into the surrounding environments when we start to, decompose. So if that environment contains water and iron, the phosphates can react and form the mineral Vivianite. So this isn't something necessarily that grows in caves or mines or something like that. It can be sourced in a lot of different places, but I found that's pretty cool. There's an article. I mean, if I'll find the link. I'll link it below. But that goes a little bit more into detail on, you know, the specifications about Vivianite, because a lot of places that sell Vivianite don't mention that part. Like, it's good for heart healing. It enhances spiritual growth and connection, activates the third eye chakra. Excuse me. Helps with intuition and psychic abilities and spiritual insight. Also, kind of, you know, grows from decomposing materials, but hey, let's not pay attention to that. Anyways, really cool crystal. The next one I got also at the same place, a Gemstone Gallery. This is a Lemurian Aquatine Calcite. I always think of Aquatine Hunger Force. Let me just kind of shine a light on it. All right. All right, there we go. Had to find the right angle to hold it at so I wasn't blinding you, or washing the color and the sort of striations out. So this is a little point. It's rather small, but so this is the Lemurian Aquatine Calcite. There's a lot of different types of Lemurian crystals, and this one, like a lot of them are mined in like Brazil and Argentina and South America. So, but this one is good for connection to the higher self, to healing and creativity. Helps with like energetic flow if you have a lot of stagnant energy. Now, why is it called Lemuria or Lemurian? If you're not familiar with Lemuria, it's a similar story to that of like Atlantis or Mu, in that it's an ancient. They're thought to be a highly advanced ancient civilization, regarded as like the cradle of humanity, and you know, TLDR, a cataclysm occurred and wiped out the entire, you know, civilization, and that sunk into the ocean depths. It was thought to, I think, be off the coast of India, if I'm not mistaken. So that's a little bit. There's a lot of like Lemurian seed quartz. You'll see Lemurian bluebis quartz. There's Lemurian jade. There's a whole bunch of it. I love Lemurian quartz, to be honest. I've had some really, intense experiences, like meditating and sort of connecting with like the crystal spirit allies and energetics of it. So anywho, that's that. So now the next one, this was sort of an impulse buy I live dangerously close to the local little metaphysical shop, like kind of down the hill from me. And I happened to be there the other day and picked up a few pieces of silicone. So this looks a lot like hematite or like silver aura, I think silver aura hematite, or just regular magnetic kind of, or hematite. It's got that like really reflective surface, but it's very lightweight. It's much more, and this is the same silicone that's in like your computer chips and stuff like that and everything. So it's very lightweight, like it's more in the weight of like say jet, which is always alarmingly light. It's like when I pick it up, it doesn't feel right. Like it feels like picking up something that's like hollow and has no weight to it, whereas most crystals have a little bit of a density to it. So silicone is really good for, you know, sort of calming, peace, and serenity, and balancing masculine and feminine energies. It's really good considering what it's used for in like high-tech stuff and it's good for communication and connection. And it's also good if you need a stone to help you decipher the truth. It's your truth spell stone. So that's another one I picked up recently. I did not put this on my list, but I got a little piece of yellow tiger's eye. There's some stones that I'm very particular about. I don't know if this is going to show up really well for you, to find a way to light my crystals so you can really see without me fiddling around with my pen light, to kind of get a good, there, hold on. Gotta get it right at the right angle. Anyways, trying to get it lit a little bit better so you can sort of see what. I don't use yellow tiger's eye a lot. I do like red tiger's eye, which I use a lot for protection. And it's also good for money manifestation. But what you have, like in Tiger's Eye a little bit, is that sort of reflective surface. I know it's a little hard to see with the light in here. But what that is they call it chatoyancy. And that's kind of, you know how like a cat's eye kind of reflects like that? That's the same thing like in the crystal, and also in the cat's eye crystal as well. So, yeah. So that's that. I also got I stopped at another store locally because apparently, much to my not my newly acquired information of living outside Philadelphia for the first time in like 20 some years, the witchy scene and metaphysical scene and occult stuff up here is a lot more. It's a lot more of it than I thought, number one, and a lot more than Philly. But anyways, I went to another local shop called Handmade Mystic. This is actually just a little smoky quartz necklace I got there. What else did I get there? Let's go in chronological order. So I got 2 pieces of golden healer quartz. I got a tumble. It's actually a pretty big piece for a tumble. I like. And I got a really nice tower. This one, like compared to the blue Lemurian one, is much bigger. Let's see if I can light this a little bit. Sometimes you can see, I don't know how well this is coming up for you, but yeah, like a lot of times I have the pen light. I'm gonna have to figure out, I have to find it first, my jeweler's loop, and jerry rig it to the camera to be able to show you like all the detail that's in here. Especially when you light it a little bit from the back, you can definitely see a lot more of the detail because there's so much in here. But golden healer quartz has a yellow iron coating. This is really good for like when you experience those energetic shifts, or like especially for things like during eclipses, whether they're lunar or solar, any kind of major energetic shift. This is a good stone for that. It's good for emotional healing, self-healing, strengthens your aura. It's also good if you're doing any kind of road opener or blockbuster work. It's good for removing obstacles and blockages, whether physical or energetic. Also attracts abundance and can be good for cord cutting, emotional balance, and also for trauma healing. So now, obviously, don't use all the things. So I wouldn't rely solely on a crystal to help heal trauma, but something that can aid it, especially if you're meditating, doing shadow work, things like that. So I got one of the other stones I'm very particular about. I love Labradorite, hence why I almost bought a $3,000 Labradorite table. But I got a couple tumbles. They're a little hard to see. I'm very particular about it. It has to have the right amount of flash. And the flash is that sort of, when the light hits it, from that angle it's a little better. You see that kind of blue, like glow? That's what they call flash. And I really love Labradorite. I think, I'm trying to figure out how to hit it so it gets the light at the right angle. But yeah, I found 2 pieces of it. I have a ton of Labradorite. It's just if I find a nice piece of Labradorite, I buy it. There's some stones I'm really particular about. Labradorite, Polychrome, Jasper, and speaking of Polychrome Jasper, I forgot to grab my Polychrome Jasper, and Muertos are ones that I'm very specific about. Like I won't buy them bulk. I want to individually pick the pieces I like, especially if it's for personal use. So next up, the last 2 I have to run and grab because I forgot to bring them over, is I got a piece also at Handmade Mystic, Carribean blue calcite. So there's a lot of different types of calcite. I prefer, because I have the sensory issues, I prefer the polished and tumbled calcites to the raw calcites. Calcite tends to have, it's like a waxy feel to it that also is chalky at the same time. So it's a little weird. Honey calcite is probably the one I like the most raw. Blue calcite, orange calcite, yellow calcite, none of those. I don't like them raw. Like it's, bleh. But this one is good. It's a combination. But what Caribbean blue calcite is, because it's different from just regular blue calcite, is that it's a combination of light blue calcite, light brown and white aragonite, Aragonite is also one that I prefer tumbled because raw aragonite looks like you got some kind of plague pustules growing on you, and it's just that's what it looks like to me. And I also think Dalmatian jasper looks like slugs. So, anywho. So this one's good for peace, love, compassion, especially in like a relational, familial sense. It works as an energetic shield. You can use it for, creative insight and drive. Also helps with relaxation, grounding, centering, and balancing, and concentration and focus. I should put this on my desk. So this is the Polychrome Jasper. There's so many types of Jaspers, and some of them are called Jaspers, though they're not technically a Jasper, but Polychrome Jasper is good for keeping you focused and on your path, moving in the right direction. It's good for inspiration, passion, helping promote change in your life in a positive way, where maybe in the past you had a lot of negative habits. So it's also good for grounding and centering and helps stabilize. A lot of it has really cool markings on it and all the colors. It's a little bit orangey, gray, red, blue. So all the pieces are very different. So that's that. And the last one, hold on. I got a really beautiful and very large piece of, this is like this is petrified wood. So probably what I'm going to use this for is like a crystal grid to add other crystals on and things like that. It's also very heavy, and I got this at the Handmade Mystic. I'll put that over there. Over there a little better. I do have smaller pieces of petrified wood that are a little, so petrified wood, again, is good for grounding. It's good for coping with stress and changes and connecting to maybe your past if you're doing any kind of healing or past lives and exploring that. But it's also good for moving forward in life. And you can use it for divination as well. So like if I was going to build a crystal grid on that, I might kind of focus it on, connecting on a healing side with the past or reconnection with it, or with, doing some kind of past life work and whatnot. So that's it for the crystal section of my witchy haul, and we're 25 minutes in. So as I said earlier, on the crystal side of things, I am going to work on, I just have to get kind of a better setup for it. I might need to do 2 cameras for it, or do like something where I have to splice back and forth, because like just kind of holding things up like this doesn't really give you a full, I mean, it can for some, but to really kind of get the detail and stuff. But anyways, moving on, I got some books too. So, and let's see. So I haven't started reading this yet. I just picked this up the other day. It's called How to Heal with Color by Ted Andrews. This is something I'm very fascinated about, especially with colored light. I use a lot, I don't know if you can see I have projectors on the back wall behind me, and you can see a little bit on that side of the sofa. But there's I think it's called chromatherapy, but it's using different kinds of light therapy. And I find like it really does help with my mood. Like I have one of the galaxy projectors on my ceiling in my bedroom, and I very rarely use the overhead lights. Like I have that on, I have like a selenite lamp, I have my Himalayan salt lamp, and I have a light up crystal grid in there. So someday when I'm done unpacking and have everything set up, I'll do a house tour. So I'm very excited to read this, because I do think I've noticed that the color, like especially with the color lights, and I'm going to be expanding that. Like usually I haven't found all my lights yet, or I don't have all of them set up. So like I have a lot of strands of lights that have sadly my two strands of my pink rose lights perished during the move. One because the battery pack broke, and the other was because I packed it too close to the top. And when I went with the box cutter, it cut it in half. So I'm excited to start reading this. It's something that I really feel like, because I mean there's a lot of color correspondences, just in general, whether you're working with different deities, whether you're working with the chakras, whether you're working with different types, whether it's like use this color for love, this color for, cursing, this one for money, this one for that. So we got that. I am this far into Ambrosia's Book of Witch Flight, Traveling to the Other World by Jasmyne Ambrosia. She's a really great YouTube channel. Highly recommend. So this is a really interesting book about her explorations. Witch flight is what, we talk about in terms of like the poison path and using like flying ointments and entheogenic substances and herbs to go to the other realms. So there's a lot of detailed accounts. I'm about halfway through this. So I highly recommend this if you're really into exploring that aspect, the working within different realms, and based on her experiences and gnosis. Really great book. I was very excited to get this because one of my favorite tarot decks is the Leviathan Oracle Study Book by Asenath Mason and the Temple of Ascending Flame. I have the Oraculum Leviathan. I'm trying to see where it's right there, and the book that it came with. But this is a study book that was published by contributions from members of the Temple of Ascending Flame and obviously Asenath Mason. So I'm excited to dig into this because it's really one of my favorite tarot decks. It's the sort of like I guess it's a draconian tarot deck. So, but it's a lot of like Lilith and Leviathan and that sort of stuff. So it's a much more of a left-hand path kind of one. And while we're on the subject, also by Temple of Ascending Flame is I got the Tree of the Qlippoth book. One of the questions that I get a lot is, are you going to work the Qlippoth or whatnot? And I'm like, well, I don't know. I haven't gotten quite there yet until I think I've secretly been working the Qlippoth. I just didn't know. So as I was talking to a friend who has worked through the Qlippoth, he's like, yeah, I think you're already working the Qlippoth. You just don't know it yet. That's how they get you. So they recommended this book, The Tree of Qlippoth, also by Temple of Ascending Flame. I do have Asenath Mason's Qlippothic Meditations down there somewhere. And the Draconian Ritual book. I haven't finished the Draconian Ritual book yet. But, so anyways, got that book. And I also recently this was from Asenath Mason's Lulu.com website, is the 2024 Dark Goddess Calendar. Because once I did a tour, obviously you could tell I like her artwork because that's what's behind me. So it's got some of the newer art from the the Goddesses of Necromancy stuff that she did recently. So I've always liked her artwork, so got the calendar. And what else did I get recently? Oh, I picked up a new Oracle deck, the Dia de los Muertos Oracle. I am terrible at pronouncing Mexican words. And make them, I haven't even really looked at this yet, apparently. So, for some reason I try to give them a French accent, which doesn't make much sense. So it comes with a nice book. And apparently I bought this and didn't even look at it, so go me. Oh, the artwork on this is really nice. And it's got a whole bunch of words I don't know why. Alabri. I don't know. But I'll be using this probably for one of my upcoming YouTube membership and Patreon monthly Oracle readings. Ancestros, I can get that one. Angel de la Muerte. Oh, that's a beautiful card. Love that. This is a gorgeous deck. So, Mariposa. Yeah, this is a really beautiful deck. Can't wait to work with it. So, yeah, that's another one. I do buy Oracle decks. I have a couple other ones coming. I guess that will be in my November 2023 Witchy haul, because I do buy a lot of stuff like this for, you know, the business and whatnot, or to explore different options. Oh, and the last two things. Apparently, we've got, as I mentioned, we've got a big witchy scene up here. So one of the first weekends I was up here after the move, I went to a little witchy market, and I bought two things from a vendor there. This is from Labradorite Apothecary. I think they're located up, I want to say Stroudsburg, PA. They do have a website. This is a Santa Muerte spray, and they make all this stuff themselves. I mean, this is, you know, generational. I think I also got a Florida water candle, which is really pretty. Oh, smells so good. But like she was talking to me, like they make their own. They have like they're on their like 7th generation Florida water recipe that has like 130 ingredients. Takes a year to brew. So yeah, so that's my witchy haul for that I know of, or that has arrived so far, because one can never tell. Sometimes things show up and I'm like, oh yeah, I don't remember ordering that, but here we are. So that's my little witchy haul, and I buy a lot of crystals. I might have a problem. So anyways, if you don't forget to click like and subscribe, let me know what you think. I will try to post as many links as I can in the description. If you like these videos, I can keep doing them, because I'm never not buying witchy shit. I probably should rein that in a little, but here we are. A lot of it I can claim as business expenses, because I do use a lot of stuff, you know, when I'm doing healing work, when I do stuff. These ones are ones that I use in things I sell per se. You know, like the Oracle decks I will use, you know, when I do membership readings and stuff like that. So, anyways, thank you for watching. Don't forget to click like and subscribe, and I will see you guys later. Love y'all.